never separate the sustainability and permaculture. I think the sustainability word itself is a very complicated, but at the same time, you understand more sustainable way of living is important. How you can live a sustainable. The sustainability and sustainable living, and to sustain life, you have to work with nature, and that's called natural world. So the sustainability doesn't come just without putting your effort, thinking about natural world, which is not possible. So in that light of that discussion, I want to explore, I want to most of the doing, I think, is unsustainable. I think how we can achieve them through this participatory way, through people, and at the same time the women and the children and education system. I think Aranya is trying to put some of these efforts into these areas where we are trying to put a lot of efforts. At the same time, we achieve a lot of the sustainable way of things into farming systems and education system and communities, and particularly in the rural, the sustainability is in the in is a pipeline still, but we cannot say it's we achieved, but still the sustainable way of things is possible to achieve some of these goals what we are trying to achieve.
And sometimes like we feel like how we can reduce our dependency on the natural resources, and how we can reduce dependency on the natural resources, how we can minimize impact on the natural resources, where we can see the alternatives. Somewhere we have to think about, of course, we are how we can live with the minimalizing our Sneha, ఇది అయిపోయినట్టుంది పోతుంది. So how we can stop consuming products that we don't promote sustainability? Is it happening? Okay. So that's where our attitude, our strategies, if we want, because now if we see the generations, like a 50 years person, their parents have a very good connection with the nature. But as a 20 years or below 20 years children, they don't have much connection with the nature. So that's where a generation gap is there. So we need to connect back to the natural world, because the disconnect, one generation disconnect was happened. Now we need to connect back. If you see, like the why sustainability and permaculture are together is, the sustainability permaculture talks about three ethics. The care of earth. Care of earth means what is that life systems on the planet earth. If you take care of them, they will take care of you. The interaction between the two persons, like two elements, like how you take care of all the elements in the nature, how you are conscious about the life forms on the nature. So if you take care of the nature, they will provide you. Can I give one example? I'll give. Every day in our food systems, what we are eating, like if you want to, like for healthiness, we are eating everything which is healthy. Like if you want to have a fruit, how much interaction one human being has to do with one tree. Like you need to take care of the tree provides something to you, like then you can enjoy. Like that, first of all, as a human being, we should know how to produce the food, how to consume it. Because if you know how to produce the food, you know the value of it. Now what is happening, we are, because we are disconnected, we are buying from the markets, we don't know the value of it. If you are connected to that, like how much energy you are putting to produce something, that's where we feel that we need to take care of our planet earth, all life forms. Because if you are living in the nature, you know the each of the element, each of the life importance. Like it, take a cat, take a dog, take a rat, take anything, snake, and any life forms, you have to take care of. And because you have to live with them, then only you will know the importance of that. And at the same time, we are talking about fair share. Fair share, like everything whatever we produce, the resources which is there on the planet earth, what we are doing is we are trying to consume everything by this generation. What about the future generations? Are we going to keep some of them, like take the any non-renewable resources like water, like electricity, like any energies if you take? So how you are going to share with the future generations? How much you want, you can take that much. Rest you can leave it to them, leave it to the future generations. We have to be conscious with the natural resources, then we can live in the present world. We can continue the our life systems in further also. Care of earth, care of people, because care of earth itself, care of people, it's like connected together. Fair share will be the resources, fair share will be the knowledge. Even knowledge also big resource, and maybe seeds, everything is sharing is need to be happen. Like in the older generations, in the rural sectors, if you see a 10 years back or 15 years back, everything will be shared among their community. So they don't dependent on much external resources. Even now, if you see the lockdown situation, all the villages, if you see the entire food production system within the village itself, they have a milk, they have a meat, they have a vegetable production, they have a grains. They are not bothering much about the lockdown situation, they are not suffering much. Only thing is marketing is the key. That's where we can see there is a pinching is happening, but other way they are happy compared with the cities and townspeople. In the similar situation, if I apply to the farm where I am living, I don't feel locked down at all, because here is everything is you can produce, you can consume, you can work, you are interacting with so much with nature. You don't need to dependence on this outside world. How we can create our we can produce our own food, how we can take care of our own. So these things very very in our day life system. And also I like to one of the thing using our recycles also. This day-to-day lives. Majority of the rural areas. Just talking about because now we have to connect. That's what I'm in the nature. Nature will take. You don't need to secure about it. I an example. When I'm looking for uh, a project, I use 6 members of team members. So I never feel anything about the insecure, because once you know food production system, you never feel about insecurity about anything. It gives lead your life. So because if you don't know these life skills, then you are depending on someone, because you don't know the food, you don't know the food production. You have to dependent on, you have to earn the money, buy the food. Then if you don't have income sources, then you feel insecure. But in the agriculture sector, it never happens as long as system continues. But don't compare with the present scenario. Present scenario is the monoculture, pesticides, fertilizers. This is the system present scenario it is happening. So it's not actually, if it's not actually agriculture, I can say it's agri business is happening, because all the agriculture inputs bringing from the shops and investing on the land resource, you are earning the money. Again, you are spending money for whatever your needs are. But real agriculture, if you see how much the way of life, how you produce your food, and how you take care of your surroundings, your workers, your animals, your life forms on your family. So these are the systems which we need to follow. Now that is not happening, because of that we feel insecure. This is the things maybe we need to connect back, and I feel like Nasana can continue this.
Yeah, in this continuation, I think how this is possible, I think, is the sustainability and sustain the life. The sustainability, again, the security also. The security in terms of all securities, and your life security and your food security and your fodder security and all the asset security, and how these are all we talk about most of the securities, but the natural resources security also very important, and the conservation and the taking care of restoration. I think if you to want to achieve sustainable, I think this is the time for to think more very practical level, at the field level, the practical level, and at the same time the achievable and measurable methods which we can adopt some of these methods at farm level as well. I think today we are looking at most of these things are, I think, what is sustainable. Sustainable, I think it is the system should continue for another generation to generation. It has to prolong the, I think, is prolong the time which people can enjoy that the results, the fruits of that system which we already laid, which we already implemented. So that kind of systems we have to think about. And today at a farm level, I talk about the only the food, but nobody think about the fodder security. And the food security and fodder security and nutrition security, I think it are natural systems, not just only food for you, food for others, and the nutrition for others, and the fodder for the animals. How this fair share, where we can share this kind of information in a different aspect, different orientation, different perspective we required in our agriculture systems. Today, the sustainability doesn't mean that just sustain ourselves and sustain others as well through your systems. What are the systems you think? I think it has to be paved the way to take forward these concepts for the future generations and even for longer periods. How you want to lead this sustainability. This is today I talk about the food and the Aranya farm. Just in the morning also I had a talk with the biodiversity people. I think still now I am very doubtful the definition of food. I think there's no definition. This is a food. We domesticated few things, we have started growing them, and today we are eating. We said it is just food, but food, I don't think it's not a food which can satisfies your hunger. It could be anything. Need not to be your rice or your wheat and your spinach. It could be anything which satisfies your hunger. I think which gives nutrition. At the same time, I think it is more feel happy to what you are consuming and how much energy you are investing for that to produce. I think it's a cheaper and it's a very easy to produce, and you are spending less in units of energy. You are getting more energy, and that is where exactly you have to look at the energy consumption, not the production. Production maybe I think it is the higher less. I think that is not issue. So how much is whose cost? I think today we are always in the 60 days we are staying in the farm. I think most of the vegetables and food what we are eating today, I think is the very amazing. I think we are not run short of any food. I think if you take the definition of food, I think I never find any. This is what food definition. I think what you eat, what you look at, how much you produce, how much you consume the energy. I think you simplify. You try to work with those kind of things, and definitely you will be sustained. I think the sustainability come on its own without putting much efforts, but only you have to look at the natural world. You try to understand, you try to work with nature rather than against. So that kind of systems are always very important in permaculture. In permaculture, we think most of the energies there is only solar energy which is today more precious, more important, which we neglect. I think the negligence should not happen in our whatever the small activity we take on the farm and out of the farm and our life, daily life, and where we can cut down this consumerism. I think sustainability doesn't come just without sacrificing, without compromising certain things. You cannot achieve the sustainability. I think the simple, most of these things we do, but we talk, but we never implement. So implementation level, we should be little careful, and we have to be careful thinking, and we have to be more practicable. The practicality, I think I will give most of the examples in the even day-to-day life. What we use from toothpaste, so I think till we evening and dinner. I think most of the lifestyle is totally against nature. I think if you minimize your things in your usage every day, I think that will lead to most of the sustainable way of living. I think close to nature, at the same time, nature will definitely will cooperate, and you have to add something to the these things. I definitely your resource are abundance. I think that direction we have to work. Sure, we have to be in permaculture. Every step, every action, we look at the observe the observation and observe the nature. How does it sustain on its own without anybody's intervention? I think that that systems are in permaculture. Every activity, every work, what we do, I think we have to look at that. Today is one of the important the epidemic, endemic situation which we have facing today. I think everybody is realizing how the things are very important to look at and observe, and how much time we are wasting for unnecessary, unproductive things, how much time we are using for our productive things. I think this kind of combination of life is possible. Definitely, we can do much more meaningful life rather than just wasting our time for unnecessary and unproductive things. I think the some of the examples in our farm and our work, I think it is possible. I think you are also maybe in the living in apartments and the farms. I think today we are facing is the more comfortable, at the same time challenging for how we can take this for, as an sustainable in permaculture. I think permaculture is one of the solution, and as I think this is the way where we talk about the problem is the solution. I think the problem, without problem, I think we cannot find a solution, and the problems are there, but don't think it's a problem. It is a, it's an advantage, it is an opportunity. How you take this opportunity, how you work with the nature, I think the great asset for us to think about natural world. I think I think these things may give some answer to your even problems, what day to day problems which you are facing in your area and place. I think you take it with happily. You challenge and you work with those things. Definitely, you will find solutions. I think most of the rural, particularly in the urban situation, people are struggling to find out these some of the small solutions. But is a, don't think it's a small solution. It's a challenging for us to think more seriously how best we can work with nature, simplifying our life rather than making it more complicated.
Also adding to what Nasana says, like there is a like because of the technology, WhatsApp or what electronic media, whatever the media it is, there is a so much sensitization is there in the present scenario. But there is a, I feel like there is a implementation gap, like the application gap is there. So we know that this is very good, but how to do that, that is a gap is there. Now all the younger generation should come back to the nature and do something with the hands. Then only you can connect back to the nature. Connect, there is a missing gap is there. If you want to connect to the nature, we have to be in the nature, you have to experience with the nature, then only you can connect back. Whatever your health issues are there, whatever you are talking about, take any example of present scenario. The solution is only nature, where we can, what we are eating, start from that. We are very conscious about what we are eating every day. But while you are selecting a dress, you will spend lot of time while selecting a dress. It suits for you, it's good for you, and so much of time we spend. But while you are eating the food, is it coming from where, how it has been grown? So what we are eating, so are we are thinking about something about it? That is important now. Now the solution is, you should know where it is coming from, how it has been grown, is it safe or not. We have to think about that, because now I work with the farmers, I know how it grows. Sometimes I feel like when if you see the chilies, if you see the fruits, we are eating for the healthiness. But if you see the way hybridization, chemicalization, how much pesticide they are applying, how much growth hormones they are applying, so are we are eating a best food? This is a question mark for everyone. But those who are working in agriculture sector also, how much food they are producing for themselves, how much food they are eating for themselves. Because we are producing, we are doing for somebody's, it's like making money we are doing, but not for ourselves, but it's a question mark. So think about it, like everyday scenario, like we think about, we take care of our children with the 2 3 generations assets we build, but right now we have to think about my next generation will have a good food, good quality of air, good soil, good water. We have to think about in those lines, as my child is going to get this kind of environment or not. So we have to be conscious. Everyone has to, as a human being, we are in the climate emergency. We need to come back to the lands and nature. We have to contribute something to reduce the temperatures, to save the life forms on the planet Earth. It's a bigger term, but as a home, as a human being, what is your contribution? What is our contribution to save the planet Earth? Because nature is giving so much to you. What is you are giving back to the nature to sustain yourself, to save yourself? This is what we feel, that sustainability with nature and permaculture, there's a strong connections are there. How we can lead our life with the sustainable way, with the minimalistic way, with the natural way, how with the we are conscious about the ecology and environment and surroundings. Thank you. And what is the time? Okay. If there are any question and answers, you can chat with us, and our facilitator will help us to.
Hi everyone. If you have any questions, please post them in chat box. I'll read it out. Padmaji and Narsanaji will answer them. Okay, we have a question from Purushottam Prem. Sir, have a quick question. Synchronizing energies around us varies from types of soil. I like black soil varies with red soil. I mean choice of crops.
So, if you see, each of the soil has a great advantages. Like if you see the agroclimatical conditions, like in North India, whatever we are growing, they are growing, we cannot grow here. So whatever we can grow in that soil, if you grow that, it will be great. Sometimes I have so much of black soils, but you feel like you want to have orchards, but it doesn't suit well. But in the red soils, it grows well. It's like depends on the soil types, the response also will get changed.
Akshay Desai has a question. 1 second. Too many questions coming in. Okay. Abhishek has a question. What is the minimum acreage you would recommend for someone planning to start on a permaculture lifestyle?
So Akshay ji, Abhishek ji, like if you have 100 square yards to 1,000 square yards, 1 acre, 100 acres also, we can do permaculture. But with the 100 square yards, we can grow our food. With 1,000 square yards, you can grow your vegetables, fruits, some extent small grains also. So this is what my experience, practical experience. Even balcony also you can grow something.
Okay. Purushottam ji, he says thank you. Another question. How do you recommend for a person living a very urban life to start the transition to permaculture? Is it extremely necessary to own land? Is it difficult to buy agricultural land? And I feel it definitely exploits some poor farmers who has to sell his land because of land degradation problem. Do you have advice or any alternative?
So those who are living in the cities, everybody should come back to the come back to the nature, buying the lands and start doing the agriculture. It's not that. So if you are conscious about, you find out a farmer, those who can grow the food, and start taking from them, start buying from him, and you go and visit. Like a person, consumer and the producer should have a good relations. Then you will know how you can have a good food.
Okay, let's take the next question. And there is a question.
If you have water resource, try to grow some rooftop gardens. Otherwise, select a few farmers, start buying from the farmers, those who know about you, and you visit and buy from them.
Okay, next question from Vinay BS. Permaculture is a vast subject. It has many features. Which is the most important feature?
So permaculture, we cannot say this is important, this is not important. So everything is connected to everything. Like without water can we sustain, without air can we sustain, without soil can we sustain. So like that, permaculture, if you see permaculture, it's like a holistic approach.
For that question, I think you are right question, but don't feel bad about it. But you cut down your consumerism. That is one of the best solution for many problems.
Okay, the next question. Hello, ma'am and sir. I'm starting my journey in sustainable agriculture and was planning to attend PDC program. In the current situation, is there a way I can start developing my understanding of subject till we can travel to attend the program?
Start reading something about permaculture during this time, and start watching some videos or all. And also, like wherever you are, maybe you are in the cities, you are in the wherever you are, just observe the nature, how, like how the life is being with, you are among one of the life on the planet Earth, but other life also you observe in the nature and try to apply it on your life.
Okay. Next question from Sai Manikanta. Hello, ma'am. How much time it takes to replace permaculture to traditional farming methods?
Hello, Manikanta ji. I think you need not replace. I think you try to work with, and you learn what are the changes, what are the differences you find while you are doing. You try to implement, but don't replace immediately. You have to observe a lot. Then you can do accordingly what you feel, what you need. So certain things may not be, not 100% is not possible.
Okay. Next question from Bharani. What is the first step to start permanent agriculture from dry land area?
First, first step would be you know your land, and harvesting. That would be the first step. Water harvesting is the first step, and you do a lot of planting.
Okay. Next question from Somnath Verma. Through what methods can a barren land be made cultivatable?
um, Start creating microclimates, start planting something on the barren land, so it starts creating, like there is a one principle like succession and accelerating the process. It has its own time, but you start creating, start planting something, it will create microclimate, then whatever you want you start planting.
Next question from Abhishek. And how much time would it take on average to regenerate barren land using the permaculture principles?
That is depend on your time and work, and in a minimum 3 to 5 years.
Okay. Next question from Priyanka Vishwanath. Can permaculture be used for any crops?
Yes, it can be used for anywhere in the world.
Okay. Next question from Shikara Badam. Question from my grandfather. Telangana government is giving 24-hour supply to pump sets. Farmers are using groundwater continuously and it's also getting wasted. What advice would you like to give to conserve the groundwater?
So first of all, do you want water? Since the moment you get water, you go for the commercial crop, not for food crops. Try to minimize the water. Don't forget irrigated because that is spoil the soils. I think your entire soil will become saline. You cannot grow any crop after a few years. I think try to be keep it very wet, dry land. Otherwise, the rain-fed agriculture. Some portion you can go for the irrigated crops. That's what I would suggest.
And if you are keep on drawing your balances, you don't have, you are withdrawing, always withdrawing, you are not depositing anything. Try to do so much of plantation, at least you can save, conserve some water.
Okay. Next question from Priyanka Vishwanath. Why is permaculture better than other farming methods?
We didn't say it's better than other methods, but is one of the alternative alternative method. I think it's I'm not saying, but it's a much holistic approach and integrated approach and more ethical approach it has. That's the only reason we talk about, but not best and better and this is the only system will change everything. Never, not good also.
Okay. Question from Rana. Is vermicompost is vermicompost okay in permaculture?
Yeah, why not? Unless, but don't stick to only vermicompost. Your entire farm should become a vermicompost pit after 4 or 5 years. Don't make vermicompost it is and use your energy and labor everything for making compost.
And start feeding your microbes with the biomass.
Okay. From Rima Shah. What is the difference between natural farming and permaculture?
No difference, but just little bit the approaches and more little more holistic approaches. There's no difference much, but still there are little more beyond the natural we are talking today. I think it's a more practicality and practical level and more ethical way we are talking about. That's the only difference, not
So,
much difference.
but here we are talking about the permaculture difference is design philosophy. What you want, how much you want, according to that you can design your farm.
From Somnath Verma. How much capital would it be required to start a permaculture farm of minimum 1 acre?
If you do it on your own, I think no capital is required, and you start slowly and small solutions. And the slow and small is always better. I think it doesn't incur much, but your time and your energy is important. I cannot give it in money and how much money you need for that, but I'm not sure. But it's very less unless if you go for a different kind of cropping systems.
Question from Tori. During these times of lockdown and social distancing, how can we spread the word of permaculture, especially to those who are facing food security problems and are in precious conditions?
Okay, start growing something. You have some seeds around you, and you already been doing something. You help your in the house itself, and you start speaking to them and helping each other, and that even communication, the sharing information and resources and materials itself. I think that's a great resource. And don't think only working in the Corona time. I think is the not possible, but a lot of information is helpful.
Next question from Subham Saho. What are the basic things to be kept in mind when designing a permaculture farm?
Yeah, designing from your needs, your requirements are very important. Based on your requirements, you have to design.
So your design and what is your expectations also? What is your needs? What is your expected yields? According to that, you have to design.
Next one from Abdul Kadir. How holder farmers food security can be affected by permaculture practices within the context of climate variability?
Uh, Permaculture practices. So like as my experiences are speaking about within the 100 square meters, 1,000 square meters, you can produce lot of food. Like my experience is within 1,000 square yards, a 3 families complete 100% can produce vegetables and fruits.
Okay. Again, a question from Rana. Cereals can be grown on the basis of no-till farming methods?
Yeah, some of that's again based on your what kind of soil you have, what kind of the materials you are adding to the soil, and what stage. These are all lot of parameters are there, but you can grow some of the crops. But again, what kind of soil and where you are from, what is the rainfall and other climates and microclimates, lot of other factors will influence your soil. It is no tillage is possible, but in tropical soils are little difficult to understand. But you have to work it on, and you have to slowly bring to a stage where you can grow without tilling also.
Guys, if you have any more related questions to the topic, uh, okay, I think I just saw a question from Vani Murthy. If I want to start growing food on a 2-acre farm, how do I start? Consult.
Vaniji, I think you know how to grow many things in balcony and terrace garden. I think the same principles you apply to most you recycle and most of the materials which you use and on a farm, and slowly you bring is a lot of difference in the 2-acre farm over a period of 2 years or 3 years. Definitely your farm will get changed. You can consult. I think it's you can lot of neighboring farmers are there. A lot of information already is there. You try to do something first. First and foremost, your water harvesting and what kind of crops is possible, what kind of microclimates are there, what kind of vegetation is there. You have to look at all these factors. Then you can start. And 2 acres is a very good size to grow enough food and abundance. And that much I can say.
So thank you. And the time is up, I think. We have to stop somewhere. Thank you everyone for giving us this opportunity and participating and spending your time with the permaculture discussions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. See you sometime. So yeah, the courses maybe most of the time we can discuss, but we can meet some of you in next
Couple of months.
and in the PDC courses as well. And thank you so much for your time as well.